What's up guys, Infernape here. Now if you are a veteran of my channel, you'll know that I only used to like one anime in particular, Pokemon. Shock horror, I know. But a little while ago, Dr. Amnesia, also known as David, he's a very good friend of mine, so go check out his channel. He actually got me into different animes. One anime in particular was Seven Deadly Sins, and it became my new favourite anime of all time. And since I hadn't made a video based on Seven Deadly Sins, I thought I'd do one now. I'm going to be ranking every single member of the Seven Deadly Sins and rank them from weakest to strongest. When I mean strongest, I don't mean like really physically fit and really buffed and macho. I mean like who's the strongest based on their power levels and how powerful they are with their sacred treasures. If you like Seven Deadly Sins just as much as I do, be sure to let me know down in the comments. Give this video a massive thumbs up and let me know who you think is the strongest character and who your favourite character is from the Seven Deadly Sins. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, in last place, who I think is the weakest, is fairly strong, but he's still got the lowest power level out of everybody in the Sins. And that is Gotha, the goat sin of lust. Now, Gotha, I have to say, can be quite powerful when he wants to be. Like, if he uses his magical ability, Invasion, he is able to influence other people's minds and memories, which is demonstrated quite a few times, mainly when he erased the memory of Gila, of her little brother, and he also altered her little brother's memories as well. I've got to say, Gotha is quite a weird guy. Like, they actually find out in the final episode of the latest series that he is actually one of the 10 commandments, or used to be anyway. His commandment was, I forgot his commandment now, but still, he was part of the 10 commandments, but somehow he lost his memories, but gained them back right at the end of the episode. Gotha is also a doll, who was created by a demon called Gotha, and yeah, he somehow was brought to life. I don't know how, don't know why. Gotha's power level is actually 3,100, which is the lowest level out of all of the Sins. And he still kicks ass when he wants to. Like with his sacred treasure, the double bow harlot, he's able to fire arrows without even using his arm to bend them. Like, he can do it simply by using his mind. And he also has an ability called Rewrite Light, which means he can change the personality of anyone that he hits. But it's only temporary, though. In 6th place, we have a person who has many, many different handles. Some of his handles are Bandit Barn or Barn the Undead. But we all know him as Barn, the fox sin of greed. Now, I really think Barn is a really interesting character. Like, he used to be a human, emphasis on used. But one day he was climbing through the Fairy King's forest and came across the Fountain of Youth. He fell in love with the Guardian there, and then a demon came along and almost killed them both. He drank from the Fountain of Youth so that way he'd be able to live and kill the demon. And ever since then, he wanted to kill the entire demon race to avenge his lost love. Now, Barn's power level is higher than the person in 5th place, but I think the person in 5th place could only just narrowly defeat Barn if his immortality was taken away. Barn's power level is 3,320, and his magical ability is called Snatch. With it, he can use moves like Physical Hunt, which actually takes away people's attack and speed and adds it to his own. And he can also use an ability called Hunter Fest, where he can absorb a percentage of power from living beings from a certain radius of miles, and then add it to his own. But there is a limit to how much he can absorb. Since there is a limit on how much he can absorb using Hunter Fest, and since we haven't seen his sacred treasure yet, I had to put him this low on the list. If I actually knew what his sacred treasure was and what special capabilities it had, I would probably put him a little bit higher on the list, but I can only put him this low. In 5th place, we have Diane, the serpent sin of envy. Like I said, Diane's power level is below Bond's. Her power level is... Oh, hold on, I can't remember. Her power level is 3,250, so it's only a 70-point difference. But if Bond's immortality was taken away, I think Diane would stand a chance. Plus, she has her sacred treasure, a giant swarm hammer Gideon, which means she can draw out her full potential. Since she's a giant, she has the magical ability called Creation, which allows her to manipulate the Earth. She can also turn her surroundings into sand and then capture them, and she can also make her own golems, which means she can bring rocks to life and make her do whatever she wants them to do. But not only that. With her sacred treasure Gideon, she can use 2 extremely powerful attacks. Ground Gladius, which she used to badly wound Helbram and kill quite a lot of the Holy Knight, but she can also use Mother Earth's Catastrophe, which she used to flatten an entire town. At number 4, we have King, the Grisly Sin of Sloth. Now, King's true power does come with a cost. His magic and spirit abilities are extremely high. However, he's useless physically. It's the same with all fairy races, to be honest with you. If they have a magic and a really powerful weapon, they can obliterate any race. However, if their weapon is taken away and they can't use their magical ability with their full force, even a wishy-washy solo form can knock him out with a tackle attack. With a power level of 4,190 and the magical ability Disaster, which can turn a small scratch into a massive gory scene, King can be a major threat if you piss him off. Plus, he also has his sacred treasure, the Spirit Spear Chastiful, which can turn into 10 different forms, and he can also unlock its true power, you can say true Spirit Spear Chastiful, which can maximize its incredible power. But since King isn't able to fully control it yet, it depletes a lot of his magical power. Plus, I actually heard in the manga that when King actually grows his wings, his power level increases to a phenomenal size. I don't know what his power level is since I don't read the manga and it hasn't been announced if he's going to grow new wings, but it has been announced that they're going to make another season, and probably the last season, at the end of the year. So I'm looking forward to hearing about that and how well it's going to turn out. In 1st place, we have Merlin, the boar sin of gluttony. Just like Merlin from all of the King Arthur stories, this version of Merlin is very well known for her strong magical capabilities. I don't know too much about Merlin, so I'll share with you as much as I know. She has a power level of 4,710, and she also has a sacred treasure known as Oldon or something like that. Basically, it's shown that she can harness her power from all sacred treasures, but she can also transfer her soul over to Oldon, and if her Bozzy ever gets in trouble, in season 2, her Bozzy actually got turned to stone right at the last minute. She transferred her soul into Oldon, so that way he can still communicate with everyone. I also know that her magical power is called Infinity, which means she can use one spell and make it permanent unless she chooses to deactivate it. So she decided to use a spell to stop her own time, which means she cannot age. which means she's probably around 3,000 years old, and have the looks of a 30 to 40-year-old woman. And to be fair, that's a pretty handy spell. I'd quite like to have that spell. Not only that, I actually learnt that she's also immune to the 10 Commandments, effects. Like, say if you break a commandment, like, say if you lied to Gallant and you get turned into stone, like, Merlin is actually immune to all of the commandments because of the deal she made with the Demon King. Basically, a long time ago, she made a deal with the Demon King and a leader of the goddess race. But she turned her back, she broke the deal on both sides, and together they destroyed her hometown. And that's because she wanted to gain more knowledge, and that's how she got the sin of gluttony, because she craves knowledge. In second place, we have Esken, the lion sin of pride. Just like Merlin, not a lot is known about Esken yet, so I'll share as much as I can. Before joining the 7 Deadly Sins, Esken actually used to be a prince for this small kingdom. However, he actually discovered his sunshine ability and broke his brother's arm. And they later discovered that he had a curse that every time the sun rises, he becomes incredibly powerful. And they thought that it would be a threat to the kingdom, so they decided to track him down and kill him. But he managed to escape, and then he became the world's most powerful hero. During the daytime, his power level can reach above heights of 60,000. And when it's at noon, he can, for 60 seconds, he can go into a form known as the One, and his power level can actually increase to above 142,000, which is the same power level as Meliodas' all-out attacking mode. But in the night, his power level decreases to a really weak standard. Like, his power level goes to 15, which is even weaker than Hawk's power level of 30. Esken's sacred treasure is the divine axe Rita, which is a really big and heavy one-handed axe. Like, not even the strongest people can actually lift that thing. Only Esken is strong enough to lift it. Like, this thing is extremely powerful. Like, it can, and like, use a special ability called Charge and Fire, which he absorbs all the light around him and fires it at the opponent. Like, this thing is unbelievably powerful. However, there is one person that can just overtake Esken. And shock horror, at number 1, we have Meliodas, the Dragon Sin of Wrath. That's right, the perverted captain of the 7 Deadly Sins is the strongest, even though at first he wasn't really, since his power level is only 3,370. But due to late events, his power level grew to 60,000. Meliodas' magical ability is called Full Counter, which means he can deflect any magical attack with double the power. And it is pretty deadly. The stronger the magical attack, the more powerful his defense. And with his sacred treasure, the Demon Sword Lostvein, he can use its special ability called Physical Clone, which means he can make a clone of himself, which is slightly weaker than his normal self. So say if he creates one clone, that clone will have half of the user's power level. But if all of them use Full Counter, no matter what their power level is, it'll always deflect the magical attack with double the power. Plus, Meliodas has incredible attacks up his sleeve other than Full Counter, like 1,000 Divine Cut and Enchant Hellblaze. And not only that, he is the son of the Demon King. He's the oldest, as I believe, and he also used to be the leader of the 10 Commandments. But he fell in love with the daughter of the leader of the goddess race, and they both ended up having curses put upon them. Meliodas' curse is that every time that he dies, he's always resurrected. And not only does he become more evil, he loses part of his emotions, and he becomes even closer to becoming the most feared demon of all. But I've heard whispers that when Meliodas gets all of his emotions back, he can transform into a powerful demon mode that we have not seen in the anime, called Assault Mode, which increases his power level to 142,000. So if you put all of that together, that Meliodas can reflect all magical attacks with double the impact, cloning himself to make him even more powerful, being the son of the Demon King, and having an extremely powerful mode that we haven't even seen yet, I had to put Meliodas at number 1. And there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. And I really enjoyed making this video because I love 7 Deadly Sins. The next video I'm going to make will be ranking all of the 10 commandments from weakest to strongest. So I hope you stick around for that. Let me know down in the comment section below if you think I've misplaced any of the sins. Like, I think that this is pretty solid. Like, I don't think that there's any ways to change it around. But that's just my own personal opinion. Like, let me know if you think that I misplaced a character at any point in the video. Like, I really enjoy hearing from you guys. Also, be sure to check out my second channel, which is a joint channel with me and Dr. Amnesia, also known as David. Like, we do anime-themed videos. We haven't done too many videos because we've only just started our channel, but I think they're pretty good videos. If you enjoyed this video as much as I did, be sure to give it a massive thumbs up, comment down below, share this video with a friend, and the most important thing, if you're new, subscribe to my channel to be an Inferno today, because I am so close to hitting 100 subscribers. If any of you are actually new, because I've only just hit 91 subscribers, if I hit 100 subscribers, I'm going to do a spicy chicken wing food challenge at this restaurant that's near my place. Okay, that's all from me, so until the next time, this is Inferno, signing off. Bye!